يا لا 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 يا لا 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 يا لي لا لا يا لا 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 يا لا يا لا لا لي لا لا يا لا 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 يا لا 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 يا لي لا.
Assalamu alaikum. Hope everyone is well. I know everyone is eagerly waiting for the first trade, and inshallah it will come through. But one of the key things that we need to master is psychology, which includes sabr, fear of missing out, FOMO. And I want everyone, inshallah, to relax, take it easy. Don't go ahead and stop dreaming too big. Let's take it one step at a time. So, my primary focus right now is to return capital. That's all I'm focusing on. I'm not thinking about anything else. I want you to listen to one of our brothers. You guys all know Abdullah. Some of you may not know him, but he's got major investments in the property market, and they are a global provider of wholesale in terms of grocery side. They supply people like East End, Hira, and this is one area that I've worked with the brother is on psychology. And I want you to hear from someone else rather than me is what I've learned. It gives you kind of an insight of what I've been through, how I've rewired my brain. But inshallah, he will explain it to you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Guys, we are ultimately looking at financial freedom. Have realistic dreams. Think big. Think of it as bite-sized, step by step. I have a vision and let me work on that vision. You carry on with your life. The objective of this is not to take over your life. And you guys sitting there spending even 10 to 15 hours a week, that is not what I'm trying to do. I'm making this so easy that it's like a child learning how to use a pen. That's it. Very simple. Chill out. But the main point is, don't sit in there in groups and chit chat about all this because it's pointless. No opinions matter. All that matters is the markets. All we can control is our risk. The rest of it is up to the market, and when we think clearly, we know what will work. Talk about strategies as well, and that the strategy has been tested and it's been backed by science and data. There's clear evidence that it works, and that's the reason we have the confidence in this system. In terms of the advanced people, we've tried moving averages, we've tried Bollinger Bands, I've tried rank food charts, I've tried MACD. I believe everything works. But ultimately, they are lagging indicators. In other words, they give you information after. The bottom line is the price. The chart at the end of the day, at the end of this objective over the next year or two. The objective is to realize when you open whatever it is, if it's Nike, if it's Apple, Google, if it's gold, if it's GJ, if it's AUDJPY, it doesn't matter. You can look at soya beans, sugar, everything, and you can tell what is going on. You don't need to be the expert of learning about macroeconomics right now. I will take that journey away from you. We don't need to worry about that at all. You don't need to worry about what's going on outside. I will do that research myself. Trades will go wrong. Maybe we have situation of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, even 10 trades, guys, going against us. Have faith in the system. Build the data, because we could have 10 trades in a row go against us, but the 11th trade could make up for all the rest of the trades, inshallah. The problem isn't that we missed a potential trade opportunity. The problem is we feel that missing that opportunity is a threat because it's not a threat. Opportunities come every single day. So we shouldn't be in fear of that. Oh no, I missed this trade. Oh no, what will happen next? Remember, there's a trade opportunity coming up every single day. Not one, several trade opportunities coming every single day. Managing our emotions is very, very important. At the same time, that's for the beginners. Managing our emotions is very, very important. But if you have a proven tactic in place and you have a good methodology in place, then your emotions becomes irrelevant, because you won't be trading with your emotions. You've already got a method in place and a proven edge in place, so your emotions shouldn't come into it at all. But the beginners, what they tend to do, they'll be like, they'll put a trade on and they'll be thinking to themselves, oh, is that the trade in the right place, or should I take it down a bit so it triggers now, or should I take it up a bit, or should I go in the market right now, and things like that. And then they start messing around with their stop loss. They take the stop loss up and down, and then they ruin the psychology. Remember, the psychology of trading is a lot to do with psychology, and you don't want to mess around with psychology. Whatever you do, don't mess around with the psychology. Because of that, you should have a method and a tactic and a proven edge that you always work with. And if you're working with that proven edge and that tactic you always work with, if you're working with that, then emotions go out of the window. You don't need to work with emotions anymore. Emotions go out of the window. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is always have a tactic in place that you always use, a proven edge that you always use. Ustad Yunus, his tactic is proven tactic, guys. That's why we're sticking to that, and we're always working with that, like a specific approach. That Ustad Yunus, he's been on it for a long time, alhamdulillah. He's been doing really, really well with it, and we want to stick to that, inshallah. And once you start working with your, like I said earlier on, once you start working with your proven edge, your tactic and your methodology, and you stick to that rather than play with your psychology and your emotions, then that's the best way of moving forward. Because if you start messing around with the psychology, you'll never get anywhere, guys. You'll always be in the same place, or what to do, what am I doing next, is going to work, and things like that. But once you're using a certain tactic and always using the same tactics, I mentioned in my last video, if you're using the same tactic, then you won't be what was it, man? Yeah, I mentioned in my last video, you might have 5, 6, 7 or 8 up to 10 trades not going your way, and the one trade that comes your way will pay for the rest of the trades you lost and more. And we've seen it happen time and time again. We've seen that happen. So because of that, guys, I want to say, don't mess around with psychology, guys, and don't play around with emotions. Trading is strictly about having a strong psychology and using a certain approach, certain methodology, and a certain edge you always work with. Jazakallah khair, guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.